walking around a Cambodian graveyard, I guess you could say. And there are so many beautiful buildings. Some of them are really large, like this one. I don't really read Khmer, but the dates are in English. There's 2008, 2025, 73, 82. So someone died in 2008 at the age of 73, and someone died 2025 at the age of 82. On the 9th of the 1st and on the 19th of the 9th. There's a silver one down there. All of them had padlocks on them. As far as I know, it's just the bones that are put in these things. It's quite windy. I had a boss that I worked for in Bante Manche, and he was a monk, and he left home as a kid, like when he was 12 years old, and he said he would sleep in these tombs with the bones. So that was obviously before they put locks on them. But as I'll show you, I mean, I wish I did know how to read Khmer. These are different structures here. In Korea, they bury in mountains, and actually the graves look like this. They're a mound, they're in the earth, and then it will have like this, exactly like this, a little plaque. So this is very Korean inspired. It has Chinese writing on it. Maybe it's a Chinese thing. Look at this big one. Do 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 do. Oh, I don't know about you, I found graveyards quite peaceful. It looks like quite an old one. I wonder if there's a date on it. Excuse me. If there is, it's in Chinese. Some flowers on the floor. Let's take a look at this guy. I'm going to take my shoes off. This is, wow, military motorcycle. I don't know if this is the guys. There's a tomb there. And then inside, if you can see anything. Well, wouldn't that be cool? Someone was inside. They live like little houses. This one is pretty cool because it has, we'll go around the front. So, get shoes on. And then go around the front here. So someone's in the main house. And I don't know if there's a body in here. 1975, 1987. That is an old one. This could be part of the same family. And there's a smaller one there. Definitely Chinese. Look how, I mean, quite magnificent. The architecture on these things, on the graves. It even has a balcony. I'm not joking. A roof. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's pretty cool. Check out this one. These are mansions in the graves. These are graves, by the way. They're graves. Hope we see a snake. Not of the dangerous kind, but of the, perhaps of the golden tree variety. Those are harmless, and they are in Cambodia. Now this one, these are Naga. And these, I call them Simba dogs, but they're lion dogs. I don't know the word in Chinese, but look at that. Look at this. This is a grave. Ocean view, waterfront. Waterfront view. I'm taking off my shoes. There's a place to sit. It's amazing. It's empty inside, like it's hard to see, but there seems to be like a stone, like a tombstone. There's windows, which is, they're not open, and it has a pond view. Again, I want to just reiterate, this is a graveyard and it's so peaceful. Chinese. Let's see how many naga snakes they have on here. The most I've seen is 9. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one has 5 also. I assume that wall is recent-ish because one wouldn't put a bridge for walking over towards a wall. Magnificent, aren't they? I would assume the people that reside in here, their family is wealthy. I think that's a fair assumption. Whoa, this one newer. Okay. Wow. Okay, check at this. This is like a modern monolithic. I was gonna say it's more Muslim. There's quite a big Muslim community here, but this is a Buddhist graveyard, so that makes no sense whatsoever to say. But it, to me, has more of a, I don't know, a Muslim architecture. It's way more modern, let's just say that. And here's the front to it. Wow. Wow, wow. Those spirals at the top are, you know, like in reference to heaven, going to heaven. That's why all of these have pyres, like quite, some of them have like a temple looking pyre, but all of it is basically like reaching to heaven to help the soul journey up to heaven. And their bones remain here, and I think this is like the Beverly Hills of graveyards. We're on Rodeo Drive right now. That's a 1. So 2011. I can read some numbers in Khmer. One of those is a 2011. So he's visiting, he's cleaning. Okay, so they have like offerings in there. So the family will come here, go into the houses. There's obviously like an altar, and then you can put offerings to your ancestors. Pretty cool. This one has a bed, yeah, and a picture. You can't see it perhaps, but I can. So these are well looked after places, that they're not just here and, you know, and then that's it. The family comes here. There's a holiday, I think it's Puchum Ben, and the family will come and spend time with their ancestors. I mean, it's like visiting your grandparents, I guess. Especially with these places. There's balconies, there's places to sit. There's beds inside. Well, that bed is, I don't know one I've seen inside, but it's hard to say. This I assume is someone quite famous in Cambodia. It is so cool. Wow, this one's gated. See, there's the stair leading up to the top there. Amazing. All temples have dogs. There's always dogs here. Yeah. So be mindful of that. Sometimes they bark at you, and you have to just be confident and say, "Not today. You're not gonna bite me." Or what I do is I speak Korean to them, and I say, because I lived in Korea for 11 years. I used to speak Korean to my pet dog that I had. He unfortunately passed away. I put his remains, a little story, in Siem Reap. I went to a graveyard similar to this, but not as opulent. This is in Phnom Penh, in like Sensok area. But in Siem Reap, the houses are quite small for the burials and stuff. I'll show you. I see something similar. This is also quite a different looking structure. Okay, so you see across the pond there, oh, those ones, the smaller ones. Okay, so that was unlocked, like that one is right now. You can see inside. You see there? So I put his body in there. Yeah. So yeah, wow, check at that. Again, graveyard. This is that one we just saw. Unfortunately, it's a bit littered. But people do live amongst these graves, for obvious reasons. Hello, butterfly. It's a Coca-Cola one. It must be my dad. My dad passed away maybe 2 years ago. We had his funeral in a temple. He was done the Khmer style, buried the Khmer style, except we didn't put him in this. What you do is like, you have him cremated, and then the bones, you sift through it, and you give it to the monk, and then the monk will give it to you. And then we didn't do it, but we went down to the river and like put his bones in the river. But there's like a main river where you put all the bones go to this river, and then you go there, and there's quite a lot of ash and stuff. That's it, ash and stuff, because there's some bone fragments. I took one of the bone fragments. It turns to like a grainy sand quite quickly. So people live among here, so I'm gonna, oh hello, it's a bit flooded. It has been raining. Okay, let's go this way. Like Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider. Okay, so I've come here before to drop off some clothes that I had, and there was some people here that I could give it to. Lots of butterflies today. Hi! See, that's a Coca-Cola butterfly. My dad said when he was younger that's what he used to call them, the orange ones, Coca-Cola butterflies. So every time I see one, it reminds me of him. So this is like the outskirts of the temple, kind of, the grave sites. And then here's usually where people sleep. People come here to sleep next to the sleeping Buddha. quite a big sleeping Buddha. So yeah, people sleep on the, I've seen people sleep here and there, like on the platform, not on the carpets here, next to the statue of the sleeping Buddha. And I'll show you the main part of the temple now. This is, as I said, the brown butterfly. This is just the graveyard and a tiger. So I think I'll leave it with a look at the tiger. How many nagas are on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I said, the most I've seen is 9. I've seen 5 here. Let's see if we can find a 9. So people like can live here, I guess. Part 2 inside the temple.